In this episode, the newest, lightest 911, the redesigned Land Cruiser, and Mercedes bringing back the V8. Welcome to episode 251 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, have you heard of the shenanigans that are going on with LK99 and superconductors?
No.
There is a team of researchers that was over in South Korea that released a paper, a research paper.
It wasn't North Korea?
No, it was not. No, that nothing comes out of that country. It's a black hole.
I mean, no, things come out of the country.
Missiles.
Really horrible missiles that aren't
Yes.
very good at what they do.
But other than that, it's a black hole.
Correct.
Out of South Korea, though, they have taken like a couple different metals, and during a baking process of heating it up really, really hot, then cooling it down at a certain time frame, and yada yada, they've made what they call a superconductor. Do you know what that is?
I know of the phrase superconductor, but I couldn't define it.
So a normal wire, has electricity that passes through it. That's how all of our stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
But it also has a resistance to it,
Okay.
which means if you put energy through it, you won't get the same amount of energy back through the other end of the wire.
Okay.
So some energy is lost
Yeah,
in the resistance.
It dies, yes.
A superconductor has no resistance.
Oh, so the same amount of energy that goes in is the same amount that comes out.
Right.
Ah.
And in theory, it also emits magnetic fields, which could be cool for other science stuff. Now, the process of how they created this, the paper is very vague. They don't give you time frames. They don't give you temperatures. It's like, we put these two metals together, did this sequence of things, but we didn't give you details about those things. And we made this magical material. Now, if they actually did make what they call a room temperature superconductor, it'd be like very game changing for all electronics. We would have like lossless energy things, and it would be very, very, very game changing.
Interesting.
We'll see if it comes true. A lot of people are trying to test this and figure out if it's actually the truth. But so far, their results have yielded they haven't been able to replicate it yet. So we'll see if it's true or not over time. But it could be huge. Could also be very big in the automotive space if it happens.
Okay.
For all sorts of electronic things.
Whether it's charging an electric car or whether it's, I don't know, something to do inside of your car.
Right.
Cool.
All the wires in your car, in theory, would be swapped out. But
Interesting.
keep an eye on it.
It would be curious to see what happens with that.
Yes, indeed.
But let's get into some news.
All right.
We're going to talk about, first, a car that I'm swooning over. It is a new Porsche. It is the hottest, lightest, most pure Porsche of kind of the modern era, frankly.
It's not a... Oh, it is a GT3 RS.
Well, it's not,
Wait, what?
but it isn't. It's the 911 ST.
It's not a Subaru?
No, that'd be an STI or the TS.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
So the new 911 ST. It is the lightest, most pure version of the 911 for a little bit now. It is pretty exciting, and I will be honest, it has a bit broken the internet as of recently. Yes, it is, one, stunningly beautiful if you look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But essentially what the ST is, it is... they're making this car as a celebration of the 60-year anniversary of the 911. So, it has some meaning behind it, right? And this car is really, really exciting. So, if you are not like a real proper hardcore Porsche nerd like I am, you probably haven't really heard much about a 911 ST before. But this actually harks back way back to like 1970.
Okay.
So back in the day, the early 911 days, there was such thing as an ST as well. The early 911 ST was essentially how can we put this? It's like you had the running gear, the drivetrain and everything from the 911S, which was a little bit of the hotter version, but you had the lighter packaging of the 911T, which was just the lightweight, more nimble version. So it was more power, less weight, essentially.
Solid.
Right. And it's kind of grown from that. So the original ST, that's what was originally thought of, and it was brought to market really for racing. I mean, back in the day when you had, was it FIA Group 4 racing? What it was from like the early 70s. Either way, the biggest characteristic was, well, there really wasn't a particular characteristic, but the biggest one you can think of was that wider fender flares, but lighter in general.
Okay.
With the same, more exciting power figures. But the new 911 ST does have, well, a little bit of that same vibe, if I'm being honest.
So it's lighter. I can kind of see fender flares. There's not a ton of it, but okay.
Well, it's got some aero from the GT3 RS, but it's mostly a GT3 touring body. Now, the exciting part is the engine.
You said that this was the 60th anniversary?
Of the 911, yes.
Why does it have a 63 on the side?
It's part of their Heritage Design Edition, and I don't recall what the 63 stands for. I know exactly what that's for. I'll get back to it in here in a second.
Okay.
Pardon me, little brain fart there. But we'll get back to the 63 here in a second, because let's talk about the powertrain. This car has the engine from the GT3 RS, which is the more powerful version of that 4-liter flat six. So it's 518 horsepower. Now, the GT3 RS is PDK only because it's track only. Well, not track only, but made for track, I should say. This car is made more for back roads than for track. It is manual only. So you get the more powerful engine from the GT3 RS with the 3 pedals you get in the GT3 Touring.
Solid. Probably perfect.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven. This car, they've been working on making every piece of this car lighter. So it's got a new clutch that was designed exclusively for this that shaves off like 23 pounds just from the clutch alone. And that's 23 pounds of rotating mass.
Yep.
So that's good. Then you get a lot more of a shorter gear ratio. So you can actually run through the gears more, which is really exciting because a lot of times you'll find you can't actually get to the top of third gear in a public road.
Lower top speed, higher acceleration.
Yes. This car is got a lot more weight saving packed into it. The hood, roof, front fenders, and doors are all made of a particular material they call carbon fiber reinforced plastic, or CFRP for short. And they also made, rear axle anti-roll bar, and all these things in much more lighter composite materials.
Make light.
So not only that, you get forged magnesium wheels as standard, which are extremely light, and the Porsche carbon ceramic brake system. So that makes this the lightest 911 currently.
Would this be faster 0 to 60 than a GT3 RS?
No, PDK is ridiculously quick. It is physically impossible to shift gears quicker than a PDK.
Let me rephrase that. Through one gear, is this faster?
Maybe. Now, this car, they're claiming 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. The GT3 RS is less than that. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Now, this car apparently will reach a top track speed of 186, which is totally irrelevant because no one cares about that. The whole point of this car is for fun canyon carving.
186 is plenty fast.
It is, yes. It is plenty fast. I guess, you know what's funny? In the modern era, we've been so spoiled by 200-mile-an-hour cars. Where, like, anything that's not 197 miles an hour is just for peasants.
No, who cares?
Not, right? No one's going to reach that top speed.
If you're not at the long straight in the Nürburgring, you're not touching it anyway. What does it matter?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Agreed. Now, this car, I mentioned that it is the lightest 911 in the range currently. So, it's currently has the power plant from the GT3 S, which is technically the second most powerful behind the Turbo S, but different power bands. So, second most powerful engine with the lightest amount of weight of all the 911s.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That
and
makes
a manual transmission.
The manual is the real money part of this.
Those three combination.
Yeah. Now, I do recall when we were talking about the 992 GT3 RS, or maybe GT3.
GT3 RS.
Yes. They said that they were done with making manual GT3 RSs.
This is not an RS, technically. It's an ST.
So this is like a ring around to that.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. Well, it's a special edition. It's limited.
Yeah.
So it's they're not even calling it a GT3.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of it's not relevant to that because this RS is for essentially for track use, right? I mean,
yes,
road, but
right.
realistically designed for track usage. This car's not designed for track usage. While it does share the engine from a car designed for track usage, it's not actually designed for track usage.
I'm glad to see that they brought the manual back.
Well, the GT3 Touring is still available in manual.
Yes, but to a more hardcore vehicle.
Yes. Now, this does not have a wing like the GT3 RS.
Right.
It has the rear duct spoiler that does come up at certain speeds, and they actually fitted a little gurney flap to it.
Did they?
Yep. It's hard to see, but it does exist. It's really hard to see. I don't know if you'll actually be able to get a good picture of it in the that little gurney. Ooh. That's not there in the Touring.
That is barely a gurney.
It is, but when that spoiler extends,
it does make some downforce.
Probably give you a lot more downforce.
Probably.
It's funny how such a small little piece of nothing can give so much more downforce. So, all in all, this car weighs just a hair over 3,000 pounds, so 3,056 pounds.
500 horsepower, 3,000 pounds.
518 horsepower too, mister.
In a manual.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, this is right up your alley.
Oh, yeah, baby. It is unbelievable. Now, the spec that we're looking at there, that is the optional Heritage Design Package. So, they call that color Shore Blue Metallic with Ceramica wheel color, which is all exclusive to this ST. Now, that is kind of like a light blue, light gray on almost like a white wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Now, you do get the meatball with the 63. And the 63, you asked about this earlier. They're making 1,963 cars.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's what it is?
Yep.
I like that, but why? Okay. Why 63 on the side? This should have been 60. It's the 60th anniversary.
Dude, what year is it?
What do you mean?
1963 is when the 911 came out.
Okay, sure.
60 years from 63. Come on.
Okay. All right.
We can do this math. We can do this math.
Yeah, I know what year it is.
Are you sure?
No.
But either way, it is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
And unfortunately, it will not be bought by anyone that's going to use it.
Why do you say that?
With it being 1,963 cars being built, pricing is starting at $291,000 and change. It's not cheap. And if you factor in what your local Porsche dealer would like to charge you above and beyond that, welcome to a $500,000 car.
You said 291,000 starting?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It is a $500,000 car.
And actually, the memes online about this are fantastic. It's hilarious, the amount of memes I've seen, the GIFs and memes of, like, people, like, you walked into your Porsche dealer putting your name on the list. All the salesmen. Ha, 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 ha. Because it's never going to happen. You're not going to buy one. Unless you've already owned a Carrera GT, a 918, a 959, and every other GT3 RS that's ever existed, you're never going to get an allocation for this.
So the club is that exclusive?
Yes.
Whoa. Holy moly.
The chance of even a slightly more hardcore Porsche enthusiast, not a full-fledged, but just a little bit more than the average person, having a chance at actually buying this car.
Jeez.
No, that's not going to happen. Nope. Not going to happen. I would love to say it would happen, but no, don't get your hopes up.
Will we see one around here?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm very confident of that, as there's been quite a few people around here that have owned Carrera GTs and 918s and every GT3 RS known to man and all of the other things. So I think the allocations now, I can't guarantee this is rumor, but I think the allocations are going to go, let's see, 918 owners, Carrera GT owners, 911R owners, and then working its way down the order from there.
Okay.
That's my guess.
So the most top-of-the-line vehicle will get the first allocation.
Realistically, the most top-of-the-line and volume of transactions. Because
money talks.
Porsche dealers can be a little bit silly at times, and they say, we'll get you an allocation, but you've got to buy 27 Macans beforehand.
All the taxis in New York turn into Macans.
Yes, they do. Would you like a Panamera, a Macan, and a Cayenne? What would you like?
Holy moly. Well, this is a great vehicle. I wish that they made enough for it to be mainstream, and it wasn't $400,000 realistically. But it's awesome.
It's incredible. It's the best 992 911 that exists.
Yeah.
It's stunningly beautiful to look at. I love it. I mean, you knew I was going to love it because I'm a Porsche fan. But apart from that, just from what the car is, with its heritage, as well as the fact that you get an RS engine with a manual gearbox, that's super special nowadays.
Look, if you ever get one, I'll take some Sharpie and I'll put a big 60 on the side. I'll correct the number for you.
Oh, will you now?
Yeah, I'll correct it.
Yeah.
They goofed that one up.
Oh.
I got you, buddy.
Oh, gee, thanks. Gee, thanks. Thanks, Darren.
No problem.
So, yeah, it's a 911 ST. It's gorgeous, and you're not going to buy one.
Great. What's next?
Let's move on to a car you can actually buy, though.
Okay.
It is the new 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser.
Oh.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, is this different.
Whoa. This looks way different.
This doesn't look anything like the outgoing Land Cruiser. Like, about 0%.
Whoa.
Totally redesigned.
Yeah.
Totally redesigned from what the outgoing Land Cruiser is or was.
Let me get a picture of the old one.
Yeah, go ahead and look for a picture of the old one. While you're looking, you'll see that there's a lot of updates to this new one. You get 3 different trims. You get a 1958 trim, you get a first edition trim, and you get a very original trim called Land Cruiser trim.
Oh, okay.
They named the trim after the car.
What?
Yes.
Can your Civic have a Civic trim?
No.
That is so weird. I've never heard of a car company doing that.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is really weird.
Yeah, were you able to find a picture of the old Land Cruiser?
I will snag one real quick here.
Because it's very drastically different. Like, very drastically different. Because that's the old one.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't look anything like the new one.
No. Let's jump over here. Yeah, no, they look
The old one was known to a lot of Toyota enthusiasts, or just enthusiasts in general, as stealth wealth. Because it was not uncommon to have a damn near $100,000 Land Cruiser before.
Oh, really?
Holy shit, yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, old Land Cruisers? Well, not old, I should say. New old Land Cruisers. Yeah, people have known them as stealth wealth.
Whoa.
Because they are, or were, stupid money. Like, stupid money.
What made them so expensive?
They were V8, which you didn't get in a 4Runner. They were more comfortable than all the other ones because you had better suspension, things like that. They were bigger. You had 3 rows. They were, well, a little more rare, too, because they just weren't quite as sold, right?
So it was a combination of a bunch of things?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were like the most smoothest riding car in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could drive over a dog and not know that you've done anything.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the new Land Cruiser. It's not that.
Oh, no.
It's very much not that.
Oh, no. Did they turn this into a mommy missile?
No, the other way.
What? It went more off-road? More?
It went more budget-friendly.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is good.
All right.
Because the Land Cruiser fell out of what the Land Cruiser always kind of was.
Well, what should it be?
It shouldn't be $100,000.
Agreed. But should it be an off-road vehicle or should it be an SUV for mom to take around
Well,
town?
they made trims that accommodate for both. Let me quickly run you through the trims, okay? Starting with the base trim. That's the 1958 trim. That's what they call it, okay? That's more... Again, they cater it to those that don't go off-road much, but they also have identified the market that wants to buy the base trim just to swap out all the suspension for off-road suspension. So they made it easy to swap out. I love that. I think that's pretty sick, right?
Huh.
So that's the base trim. One big way you can tell, the round headlights.
Yeah, I was looking through the photos, and there have been a variety of different front ends to this already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the base trim. Now, the base trim, you get, let's see, the skinnier tires. You get adjustable cloth heated seats. Cloth.
Well, okay.
Kind of cool. If you're going off-road, that makes it easy.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see. Heated steering wheel. You get a smaller touchscreen inside, and you get those, they call them heritage-style round lights. You don't get a power lift gate, which is fine, in my opinion, because you don't really need that off-road. Right? I can dig it.
Really?
Yeah. You step up to the first edition in the Land Cruiser trim. I hate that so much.
Yeah, that's rough.
I absolutely hate the fact that they called the Land Cruiser Edition Land Cruiser. Toyota. Why did you not call us? Consult us, please.
What was the first trim called?
1958. It's base.
It's kind of odd, but okay, sure.
But you can see where that's coming from.
Yes.
Right? But yeah, first edition, I get that.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Why did you call it the Land Cruiser
trim? That's a weird one.
What Land Cruiser do you have? I have the Land Cruiser. You know what that reminds me of? And it's totally off topic. When people say an ATM machine.
Yeah.
Because that's an automated teller machine.
Or the Ferrari La Ferrari. The Ferrari.
Correct. Both acceptable. Yes.
They're kind of all like, what are we doing?
So the ideal enthusiast will have a Land Cruiser, and then their weekend car will be a Ferrari on the way to their automated teller machine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. But either way, you step up to the first edition in the Land Cruiser trims. You get bigger tires, so 33-inch tires, which have a little bit more of an aggressive tread, which gets you a little more off-roadiness. Then you also get a pretty cool disconnectable front anti-roll bar to give you better articulation. You get a different kind of multi-terrain select device that'll help you figure out, do you want snow or gravel or asphalt or whatever. And then you get high range, low range gearbox. You get larger touchscreen, you get more speakers, but you lose the round headlights.
Do you like the round headlights?
I kind of do, because it's very retro.
I'll go back to the first one.
I kind of like it. It's retro.
I think I absolutely hate this front end. It just reminds me of like a Honda Element or something like that. It's like so boxy.
Now that you've said that, I hate that. I hate that.
It really does.
So, moving back to the Land Cruiser in first edition, you get, let's see, I guess the round headlights stay on the first edition, but the Land Cruiser edition does not.
All right, let me go back to the, I believe is this one here. This is the Land Cruiser edition?
Yes.
Yeah,
it
says
the
it down
Land
there.
Cruiser edition.
Yep. Okay.
You like that the most?
I like that much better.
Okay.
I don't see a toaster in that.
I see where you're going with that. Now, here's the best part. It starts at about mid $50,000.
Okay.
Now, that actually makes sense, but let me take this back a second. Here's where it makes me not super stoked. That's the first edition we're looking at there.
Why'd they like Photoshop that one in? That's weird.
I don't think they have pictures of the first edition yet.
Did they not actually get it out in the wild yet?
I don't think so. They got the Land Cruiser trim in the 1958, but I don't think they got the first edition now. Real quick, let me back up. Let me tell you about its engine.
Yeah.
It does not have a V8 anymore, which is sad.
It used to.
Yes. Now it has a great big giant whopping turbocharged 2.4-liter 4-cylinder hybrid.
Oh, it's a 4-cylinder?
It's a 4-banger hybrid.
It's not even a
It's
turbo
a turbo
6.
4 hybrid.
Oh, boy.
But you actually get 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, which is similar to what you used to get out of the V8.
Yeah. They just deliver the power differently.
They do. I like how the V8 delivers the power much more.
Same.
But either way, it's the new Land Cruiser. Starts about mid $50,000. And I think if it wasn't for the hybrid 4-banger, it wouldn't be... I'm not even going to say it's not bad, but it would actually be really good.
I agree with you. They like modernized it. They made it efficient in the engine, which, okay, great, but also kind of sucks at the same time. If they had, what if they had a Turbo 6 in it?
That'd be perfect.
I think that would have been the good middle ground.
They should have done Turbo 6.
Yeah, because you can take away 2 cylinders, sure, if you throw a turbo on it. But taking away half the engine and cylinders, oh gosh, that kind of guts this car.
You get a battery and a turbocharger with it.
That kind of guts this car.
It does.
I'm sure it's great at off-roading. I'm sure all the trickeries they've learned from the past Land Cruisers are still implemented here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a bit goofy in the other 2 models, but whatever. You can get over that. People's opinions on looks are all opinionated anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Could you ever see yourself getting one?
No.
Why?
It's got a turbo 4-cylinder hybrid. That's not what a Land Cruiser should have.
I agree. I do agree.
I feel like here's the bad part. It loses its third row capabilities.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, definitely not.
With the removal of 4 cylinders and the third row, this feels like it's going in the direction that I was hoping it wasn't, which is the mommy missile SUV to soccer practice kind of world.
Well, is it what that is? Because that you could argue that's what the outgoing Land Cruiser was. Because it was 3 rows, it was big and plush and comfortable.
It's a good point.
This is now not 3 rows and not as big and plush and comfortable.
But it has more room in the boot for...
hopefully.
Yeah.
I believe its rear deck is raised quite a bit now, too.
Okay. I see where you're going with that. I see what you're saying.
So you see my thought process there.
Mm-hmm. You might be right.
I think it could be a good thing if they just tweaked more.
Yeah. Yeah, the engine's going to be the biggest one, in our opinion.
The engine and the loss of third row are going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the new Land Cruiser. It's had a much-needed refresh.
Does it look like a Honda Element?
There, yes. I hate that you said that because it didn't until you said that. But in some pictures, no. Damn it.
Like this angle? That's great. This angle? Oh, God. No.
What have we
done? What have we done?
Because it's the black plastic with the... Oh,
yep.
Jesus, Derek. You've made it look like an Element.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay.
What do we got next?
More good news. Mercedes. The Mercedes-AMG. They, at one point, kind of swallowed the pill of death for the C63 and E63 AMG.
I remember talking about this.
Mm-hmm. They said that the new C63 and E63 are getting rid of their twin-turbo 4-liter V8.
I remember that.
And swapping it with pretty much the same damn engine in the Land Cruiser.
Yes.
A hybrid turbo 4-cylinder. And I think Mercedes has listened to everybody going, oh my God, why would you do that? That was the whole reason you bought a C63 was for the V8.
It is.
Rumors have it, they're bringing it back.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
That is big surprise.
That is a massive surprise.
Because typically once a manufacturer stakes that claim and goes, okay, we will go hybrid 4-cylinder, then that means then they're never going back to V8 again.
Yeah, but you can't lose all your customers.
And they were going to lose all of their customers.
Right.
Because, again, the whole reason the whole reason AMG as a thing exists is for its V8. AMG should not even exist if it's not for the V8.
That's a hot take.
I don't care. It's fact. It is true. The whole point of AMG's existence is for its V8.
I don't disagree.
Because if you ask anyone, frankly, if you close your eyes and think Mercedes-AMG, what do you hear?
You just hear the rumble and like obliteration sounds that come out of the exhaust pipe.
Jackhammer V8.
Yes.
You don't hear a whiny hybrid battery 4-cylinder turbo that sounds like a Golf GTI.
No, it's a deep monster that will like rip your ears to
It's
shreds.
literally the Kraken.
Yeah.
And they killed the Kraken, but now they're bringing it back.
Interesting.
This is very good. Now, rumor has it that it'll come back as a V8 hybrid. So you'll get the twin turbo V8, but they're keeping the hybrid, which just don't kill the V8. Please, dear God, just don't make it officially gone forever.
Right.
But rumors have it they're going to be listening to the car world and every single person that's ever considered a C63. And when they announced it, how the whole internet went up in flames.
Did they say in this article that it was actually due to feedback from customers?
Well, I believe somewhere in the article it does say that to assuage those not satisfied by 4 and 6 cylinder setups.
So they didn't quite say it, but they basically said it.
Pretty well.
Okay. Huh. Good.
Again, it's Mercedes-AMG. The whole point of it is a V8. You need a V8 if you have an AMG badge.
Yes, but they are putting themselves in an interesting spot here.
By going back to the V8 again?
Yeah.
Yeah, this sets a weird precedent, doesn't it?
It does. That's what I'm worried about for them.
So is this now the death of Mercedes? The beginning of the end?
You can't keep giving in the whole time because I believe that they're going to be like governmental regulations for yada yada. You can only have so many liters in your engine and X number of years. So
that would be horrible, but okay.
There's something. I don't remember exactly what it is.
I hate that so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's trying to push everybody over to EV, which these cars are they're gonna be gutted when it's an EV. It's just that's what this car is. It's the grumbling V8. I don't know.
As much of an EV fan as anyone may be, you can't disagree with the fact that Mercedes-AMG is known for its V8.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Oh, I'm worried about Mercedes. I'm worried about Porsche. I'm worried about Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston Martin. All the cars we love to hear on the road are just, I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. So, yeah, if you keep on giving into this over and over and over, you set the precedent that, like, sure, you'll have your top-of-the-line high-end AMG. You'll sell a good number of those. But will that make enough profit to sustain the company as you're moving the rest of the fleet over to the EV land? And if you're going to get pinched by regulations, you're going to eventually have to pull the plug on this. And if you tried once and you got a bunch of pushback and then you went back on it, when you try again, which you're going to have to do at some point, you're going to get a bunch of pushback, but you're not going to be able to go back that time because it's going to be the final straw. And then what happens?
Is it the boy who cried wolf?
It could be. We'll see. But I'm sure that they heard from their customers directly that like they were pissed when it was going to a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, because they're like the first one to make that claim. Like, all right, V8s are gone.
Yeah.
Like everyone else was like, okay, we can keep a V8. We'll just add a battery to it.
That's like Porsche saying the Flat 6 is gone.
That's exactly. BMW, I believe the next M5, twin turbo V8, but instead of it axing the V8 itself, they just said, here's some battery juice.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to slowly decrease the size of the cylinders. Right now, this is a 4-liter V8. Wonder if we're going to go down to a 3.6 liter, a 3.2 liter, a 2.2 liter.
I see where you're going with that.
And just increasingly get, because I think it's the liters, if I recall, or like the displacement of the engine was what they were trying to reduce. So, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I will say a 2-liter V8 and a 4-liter V8 make different sounds.
Very.
Yes.
Very different sounds.
So, and that will change the character of the car.
Very much so.
Yeah. Glad to see it's back though.
Yeah, same here.
But this is a limited time thing. I can tell you that. It's on a clock.
Weird slippery slope.
Yeah, and it's on a clock. So,
unfortunately. So, yeah, that's the last little bit of news I got. You got anything else for 251?
I do not.
Cool. In that case, that's going to wrap us up. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up on the video, and drop a comment. Let us know, would you ever think that you can get a 911 ST? I bet you can't.
No.
Yeah, not going to happen. Or let us know what you think about the new Land Cruiser. Now, if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is WeAreAuto_. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So, thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.